Tales from the wild. Stories from the heart. A journey into the mind and soul of fired-up business professionals where they share their vision for the future. And hear from a different non-profit organization every month as they create awareness of their goals and their needs. Dive into a world of untamed passion as we join our host, Shireen Buerta, for this month's episode of Friends from Wild Places.
That is so
Excellent.
good. Yeah. And so, Zeenat, here at Friends from Wild Places, we do like to take the time every month to support a non-profit. And the non-profit can be, anything really where it is giving a helpline to someone or giving back to the community along any of those lines. We are so for that. It's all about serving and giving back is what we believe here. And so I know you mentioned a nonprofit, which is a nonprofit that we've chosen to support for the month. And it is called the Women's Fund. And Zeenat, would you mind just speaking a little bit about the organization and then how can we support that organization?
Sure. Well, the Women's Fund, specifically Women's Fund of Miami-Dade, they function under 4 pillars. Their goal is to create freedom from violence for women in our communities, to advocate for leadership by these women and girls in our community, again, to lift them up, increase access and equity in healthcare and well-being for women and girls in our community, and also to raise economic security for women and their families in our community. And those are the 4 pillars that they function under. And for me, as a mom and as a woman, I see this as basically the structure of our community is to help these women to build up from where we all are now and where they are now. And so that's why I like to support the Women's Fund, because I think they're doing really good work in this area. They're raising really good money, and it's very focused to helping the women in our own community in these 4 areas. Mm-hmm. And so you can just go to womensfundmiami.org. You can take a look at what they're doing, and you can help in many ways. Of course, you can donate to them, but you can also engage in the conversation. Every month they have an online conversation about something that's happening in the community currently. And just by increasing your awareness, you're able to then disseminate that information in your community and to others. And so everyone can understand what's impacting the women in our community right now.
Nice. I think that's important. Really, really, really is important. I am part of a minority in this side of the world as a woman in my country. And so the violence on women here is quite a big deal. And I really, really, we've spoken about it twice here. In the nonprofit, where we support women in general, and then especially, domestic violence is one of them, amongst others. But the other thing that we mentioned now in this episode is supporting other business, women-owned business. Goodness me, Shireen, can't talk today. So yes, and a lot of my clients are all women that own their own businesses. I have a softer place for them in my heart for obvious reasons. So I'm so glad that we spoke about that and different ways to support our women-owned businesses, as well as supporting the women in our neighborhoods and in our communities.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I have another question, and that is probably what I like to ask most of my guests is, what is one of the biggest achievements you've had thus far?
My goodness. I think for me, it's just the fact that I've been able to sustain this business for as long as I have. My first priority is my family, and, they will always come first. And so I've had to let some opportunities go by. I focus on keeping my business relatively small so that I can manage it without needing to have a huge team that I'm managing, because I want to be able to focus on my family first. And I've made that choice very consciously. And I will continue to make that choice very consciously. So to me, that's my achievement, is understanding myself and understanding what I want this company to be and how I want to impact other women while staying, true. The word is, I'm losing the words here, but true to myself, true to, having fidelity in myself, that this is what I want to do, and not allow myself to see, they call it the shiny object syndrome, to see what everyone else is doing, the how I can be this, how I can be that. Do I need to write a book? Do I need to do this? I can really be focused because I know what my end goal is. To me, that's been the huge accomplishment, because when I started this company, I didn't really know. I thought, okay, I'm going to start this business. It's going to be a hobby. It's going to be great. Then when I realized that this is very fulfilling, and I want to do something more, and I want to reach more people, I thought, well, the only way I can do that is by having a huge team and attacking every home in Miami, and making it, everybody's home in Miami is going to be fully organized and streamlined, and my team is going to be the one to do it. And I realized, no, there's something else that I want to do first, and that's take care of me and my family, and then the business is going to expand naturally in the way that it needs to expand. And then COVID hit, and I realized virtual organizing was a thing that I could do, and I was able to do it. And now transitioning into an online program that's been successful, that I think is the next, the next wave of changes that are going to happen for my company. And that to me is manageable.
Love that. Love that.
Zeenat, is there a personality profile that you use? I'm familiar with, for example, Myers-Briggs and the DISC and all, like the caliper. There's many, tons of them.
Right.
Is there one to see what type of style someone is? Like the starting point for organizing, because I'm hearing you, like everyone has a different, not everyone wants things in bins with labels, right? And not everyone wants things, like put in drawers the certain way. So is there, that's something you could create as like an online personality profile test to see how people want to be organized?
That's a great idea. And there are things out there, if you search them, there are other organizers that have little self-assessments, and they name you something depending on how you like to organize. Those are clearly a way to begin. I think that's a smart way to do it. And the way that we approach it in my program, streamline and simplify is what I call it, because we want to streamline home and I want to help you simplify in order to do it, is we look at your vision board. And the vision board for your home, it's a little different than a vision board for your life, because we're really focused about how you want to live in your home first in this 90-day program. 90 days is not a long time to organize an entire home, organize your calendar, and start thinking differently about the stuff that you own. We're all very sentimentally attached to everything that we own, including this, like anything. It could, no matter how utilitarian we think that it is, a pair of scissors. If you ask someone you have 3 pairs of scissors, get rid of 2, you just need 1. No, why? It's so hard to get rid of those extra pairs. I'm just making that up. You might want to keep all 3. I'm just saying that, at the time when it comes to remove things from your house, so we're really attached to things. So rather than looking at how you want to organize, I look at very holistically, what's your vision for how you want to live in your home, how you want to function in each area of your home. And one of the exercises that we do is we think about kind of an ideal day in the future. Think 6 months from now, your home is organized, you're in your ideal life within your own home. I'm not talking about let's move to a mansion and have a butler. No, in your own home, living your own life with your own family. How do you want to function in that space? And you look at that day in fast forward, like you live through that day in fast forward. You kind of see and hear snippets of conversation, how you're driving your kids, how you're getting ready in the morning, what's happening in the evenings. For me, one vision, one scene that stuck in my mind when I did this for myself years ago was, oh my goodness, the ideal for me would be in the evening, my husband and I are relaxed, cooking together a dinner, each with a glass of wine. We're listening to music. The kids are here, hanging out, playing, doing their thing. The house is relatively in order, but we're having fun cooking and relaxing. And then we all sit at the table together and we have this lovely meal. That was my ideal. That was kind of my vision, my goal. That was one of the big visions that I had. And so then we start thinking, once you have kind of some of these visions, and we pull inspiration photos from the internet, from magazines, whatever, and we create this vision board for different areas of your home. Once you have that, we talk about, well, so if this was my vision for my kitchen, is everything in my kitchen serving that vision? Do I need 8 pots? Because my 8 pots have to be nested. Realistically, I know I don't have space to line up 8 pots in a cabinet. I have this cabinet space, and so they have to be nested. So do I need 8 pots? Or am I better served by having only 3 that I nest, which makes it easier for me to take out those 3 and cook anytime I want to, rather than deal with the friction that I was feeling about, okay, in order to cook, I have to take out these pots to take out that one, and then I have to find the lid, and then I need this pan, and then I need this. And that's what cooking had become for me. And I didn't like it. And I wanted to enjoy that cooking time. That was one thing. So that's the process that we go through in Streamline and Simplify.
Nice.
If that makes sense.
Yes, that is
Very
so
much
good.
very much.
And that's how you come to understand, well, how much structure do I really need? Do I need little containers for every knife and every pair of scissors and every pen? Or do I need, this is my drawer where I keep the pens, the scissors, and the whatever is in there, but I have an invisible barrier on top of that drawer, so no random stuff gets thrown in there. And once you have that in place, you see how easy it is to keep it organized. Once you've got the stuff in there, my scissors will always be in there. I can label the drawer if I want to. If I have little kids, I can label the drawer. Or if I have a husband, I can label the drawer. So everyone knows that the scissors go in here. But do I need the little containers, or am I okay with just a drawer divider and, all the utility stuff go in here, little tools, whatever. And on this side, I've got paper and pens. Is that enough for me? What really needs to be in here? What's the function of this drawer for me? So those are the questions that we ask when we start. And that's how you start to understand, how much structure do I really need to get things done in my home, by knowing what your vision is, by having this vision board done.
I like that. I like that. Thank you, Zeenat. Thank you so much for actually joining us today. We have come close to the end of the podcast, where we're going to make it a little bit more lighthearted now. I'm going to ask, since I don't know if you are watching from YouTube, but you'll notice that some of us have some Christmas decorations, horrible seasonal Christmas jerseys on, and in the other Zoom boxes, we've got beautiful little Christmas penguins and a Christmas tree. So yes, it's Christmas time. And so it's Christmas time. There are things that we love to do with our families. So let's go around and just chat about what's our favorite thing to do at Christmas time with our families. Zeenat, you can go.
So every Christmas, barring COVID, we travel to my husband's parents' place, and all of his siblings and all of the cousins, we all get together. And one of the things that's become a bit of a tradition is to do a kids scavenger hunt. I'll tell you that some adults get into it as well, but scavenger hunts at Christmas time has been a thing, because it allows everyone from, the 2-year-old to the 26-year-old and beyond to be involved. And so we like that. It gets everyone together. It's something a little different, and we send them all around to find random things. But that's been our fun tradition at Christmas.
Nice.
That beyond we stay up until midnight at Christmas, and we wish everyone Merry Christmas. And so dinner isn't served until 10 p.m. And then we're trying to keep the kids awake, or they want to be woken up so they can do the Merry Christmas at midnight. those have been our fun traditions.
My gosh, my family is sleeping at 7 p.m. at night. That's not even
Right.
possible.
It's a lot of coffee that night for me because at 9 o'clock I'm in bed normally.
Let's go. Tanya, what about yourself?
So I have one daughter, Shayna, and we always do something special, whether it's, a Christmas breakfast or a Christmas day or a day around Christmas, that we just do something really special. But I've actually learned not to have it just for the day. I like to celebrate the whole month. So from after Thanksgiving through the end of the year, whether I'm meeting friends for a coffee or breakfast or lunch, so the whole month becomes a celebration. So it's not a letdown the day after, because I'm big on that. So I like that. And I also love the music. So Christmas music is kind of played randomly throughout. So those are my things. Those are my things.
I love that. I love that, Tanya.
That's so good.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Tanya, because my birthday is on the 11th of November, right? So we celebrate my birthday, okay? Only because we have to, all right? The moment it turns the 12th of November, out comes the Christmas tree, the decorations. Shireen goes absolutely ballistic.
I love it. I love it.
Right.
I love that idea, the entire Christmas season to do something. Love that. That's fantastic.
It's activities, it's all sorts. And I'm very sad when we have to put it down and away in January. So that's just the extent. And also remember, our Christmases are summertime. Your Christmas is wintertime. So I am wearing this jersey, but I am sweating on this side.
Yes.
So I am committed, and I hope you acknowledge my commitment here.
100%. We're applauding you.
That's awesome, ladies. This has been so much fun. Before we close down, I just want to take the acknowledgement right here in this little group. We are all part of the same BNI group called Miami Partners in the Miami-Dade area. We all work together. We are, as Zeenat said, each other's partners, business partners, and including the very person that is editing this, Amir. So we're all part of the same group, people that you don't see here and behind the scenes. So we really believe in this and in what we do at BNI Miami Partners. And we are a virtual team. So we meet every Tuesday at 7:30 EST time. So listeners, you're more than welcome. If you're a business owner and want to come and visit and looking for a networking group, come and see what we're about. Zeenat, listeners, they are listening, and if they're really touched by your story or have any questions about what you do, and would like to reach out to you, where can they find you?
Well, certainly you can check my website out. It's fireflybridge.com. And there you'll find plenty of information. You can find my email there. You can find my phone number and give me a call, send me a text, whatever it is that you need. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook at Firefly Bridge Organizing, and on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn with my full name, Zeenat Siman.
Nice. Thank you very much. And what about yourself, Tanya?
I can be found on LinkedIn since I don't have a TV. So Tanya Scotisi, and that's spelled S as in Sam, C Charlie, O Oscar, T Tom, E Edward, C Charlie, E Edward. That's the best place to connect with me. Doing a lot at Miami-Dade College, Sunshine Senior Placement Agency, and I do serve as expert witness for funeral home and cemetery wrongdoing. So would welcome any opportunity to connect.
That's awesome. That's right. You can find me as well on LinkedIn, Shireen Buerta. But more importantly, you can find Friends from Wild Places on their website, friendsfromwildplaces.buzzsprout.com. You can find us on YouTube if you want to see the video version, but you can find us on every single streaming platform out there is. You can download us, listen to us, leave a review, let us know what you think. We would really appreciate that. So thanks so much for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time. And remember, you got this, and stay wild. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Friends from Wild Places with Shireen Bueta. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast from the links to catch every episode and unleash your passion.